President Trump proudly announcing on Friday in Phoenix that the Strait of Hormuz had reopened, but less than 24 hours later, it's closed again.
Now the president says Iran, quote, can't blackmail the U.S. with the strait's closure, where 1/5 of the world's oil typically pass through. Fox's Matt Finn has more from Dubai in the United Arab Emirates.
On Friday, President Trump and the Iranian foreign minister announced that the Strait of Hormuz was fully open. But shortly afterwards, Iranian officials online started to say that the strait would only remain open if ships met Iranians' conditions, indicating that the strait was not fully open. And now an intelligence official tells Fox's Trey Yinks that the Iranian regime is in control of the Strait of Hormuz once again. That official saying the Strait of Hormuz is under full IRGC control and effectively closed at this moment. Multiple vessels have been forced to turn around since this morning as they attempted to pass through the strait. The IRGC opened fire on at least one vessel as part of the closure policy they declared last night. President Trump and the Iranian foreign minister announced the strait is open, but shortly afterwards, Iranian officials started to post that Iran was maintaining restrictions, and now there's talk that Iran is even demanding money again. And also here in the Middle East, Israel's IDF claims the 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is not solid either. The IDF posting Hezbollah ceasefire violation. Since the ceasefire came into effect, IDF soldiers south of the Yellow Line in southern Lebanon identified several incidents in which terrorists violated the ceasefire understandings by approaching from north of the Yellow Line toward IDF soldiers, posing an immediate threat. In order to remove the threat, the IDF conducted precise strikes against terrorists and terrorist infrastructure sites. The president has said that a second round of peace talks may be happening this weekend or in the coming days in Pakistan. But now, as Iran claims it has control of the strait again and is reportedly firing at ships, it's not clear if the 2-week ceasefire, which will expire soon, will be extended or scrapped. Here's the president on that.
If you don't have a deal by Wednesday when the ceasefire ends, will you extend the ceasefire or will
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I won't extend it.
Okay.
But the blockade is going to remain. But maybe I won't extend it. So you have a blockade, and unfortunately we'll have to start dropping bombs again.
And Iran's new supreme leader has been posting some ominous threats online as well. In the United Arab Emirates, Matt Finn, Fox News.